What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. Kicking ass, taking names, and obtain. We're gonna do a Mythic Spoilers, set review for Dominaria United Limited. I guess we can do both. Why not? Screw it. Let's go. Let's get in there. We're gonna start with white. I'm gonna have a bunch of videos for all the colors, I guess. Probably do all the end. Anyway, once during each of your turn. Okay, I guess we'll make it big, right? Does that do this? Okay. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land from your graveyard. Play a land from your graveyard to cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. If you do, when this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, exile it and you gain 2 life. Huh? You may play a land from your graveyard or cast. Okay. This says from your graveyard to cast or cast a permanent. Okay. Man, some trash. Yeah, it seems amazing. I mean, once during each of your turns, like this is like a mini Sun Titan kind of thing. Okay, in limited, this is a 5 out of 5. Obviously. Slam dunk windmill pick. 4 mana 3/4 flying is already good in limited, and you're just like the turn you get it, you play it late game, right? Like turn 6 or something. If you've hit all your land drops, you can like play one of your dudes that died earlier in the game. This card is fantastic. In constructed, 4 out of 5. And clearly it's very powerful. It might be. You know how constructed is, right? I mean, you may or may not see play. Like, it is powerful, but that doesn't necessarily will see play. Only time will tell. But I would give it a high potential. We're gonna go back, or what? Alright, here we go. Alright. Urza assembles the Titans. Scry 4, then you may... God, these ads suck, dude. There's so many every time. Look at this. How many ads is that? Lord almighty. Alright. Read ahead. Choose a chapter and start with that. Many lore counters. Oh! Add 1 after your draw step. Skip chapters. Don't trigger. Sacrifice after 3. Oh, so you could go straight to 3? Interesting. Or 2 or whatever. Alright, scribe 4. Then you may reveal the top card of your library. If a Planeswalker card is revealed this way, put it into your hand. Okay, powerful. You may put a Planeswalker card, mana value 6 or less from your hand into the battlefield. Cool. You may activate loyalty abilities of Planeswalkers you control twice this turn. Awesome. Limited, not good. Limited, it doesn't do anything, right? I mean, the best thing that this does in limited is says scry 4. And, oof, that's not good. I'd say limited, this is a 1. Constructed, I'd also say it's pretty low. Like, yeah, it's powerful and it can do some stuff, but you might play 1 or 2 in a Planeswalker heavy deck, but I feel like the format is currently moving away from, like, jamming lots of Planeswalkers. And the creatures now are just so fast. The removal is getting so good. I'm going to give this like a 3 on the potential scale. Okay. What's this guy do? Close, close, close. Buzz, buzz. Okay. 2 mana, 2/2. Other soldiers you control get +1/+1. Exile this guy from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 counter on each soldier you control. Alright, in limited, 3 out of 5 because, the majority of the time you're only going to be getting 2 mana, 2/2, which is alright. But if you can play it and get some stuff and value, you can cast it, do the thing from your graveyard, maybe put 2 1/1 counters on your guys. Like, that's pretty strong. That's like a 3 out of 5, I'd say. And in limited, or in constructed, I think this guy is good. Humans as a type, soldiers have always gotten some help, But we shall see if this ends up paying off. But I do think it has some high potential for value. Probably like a 4 out of 5 on the potential scale. Alright, this thing. Leyline Binding. Alright. 6 mana enchantment with flash. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each basic land type of land you control. Okay, so this card gets cheap quick. Could cost 1. When the center of the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until this thing leaves the battlefield. So there have been instances that do this before, and they're like 4 mana at flash speed. So you're assuming that this is going to be cheaper than that. That's like an uncommon. I forget the name of it, but there it is. Cast out. Boom. Cast out. This is any permanent? Non-land permanent. This is also non-land permanent. I mean, cast out's good and limited. There's no doubt about it. And most limited decks are going to be 2 colors. But I know there are some 3-color decks in this format, so time will tell. But, you know, like, it's good removal. I wouldn't, snuff at this in removal. I mean, in limited, probably a 4 out of 5. And in constructed, that's where this card could be very good. I mean, if we're talking 1 mana to do this, that's insane. I think this card has high potential in constructed. I'm going to say I'm going to give it the full 5. Maybe it sees no play, but I think potential-wise, that's amazing. Okay, 5 mana, 4/4, first strike, vigilance, lifelink. Alright, 5 out of 5 in limited. Don't even need to know what the rest does. When it enters the battlefield, you may put an or enchantment or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield attached to this guy. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 5. This card's insane. 5 mana is probably a bit much. Are you ridiculous? Like, this card's absurd. This card is 10 out of 10. All around. That card's gonna see constructed play. Decks, I mean, 5 is a lot, but not too much. Like, if it's less, that card would be ridiculous, redonkulously good. Okay. 3 mana, 3/3 vigilance. Okay. As this guy enters the battlefield, look at an opponent's hand. You may choose any card name. Spells your opponent casts with the chosen name cost 2 more. Activated abilities with the chosen name cost 2 more to activate, unless they're mana abilities. Okay. Yeah. Very, very strong card. In limited, probably 5 out of 5. I mean, the fact that you're slowing down your opponent's most important thing, is very good. Like, that seems great. And then in constructed, this card seems totally reasonable. You get the information by looking at your opponent's hand. It's a reasonably sized body. You can even name a card that says in play that has an activated ability, I think this card's going to be very good. Limited, probably 4 or 5 out of 5, and in constructed, we'll give it 4 out of 5. Temporary lockdown. Hey, I know what that's like. Okay, when this enters the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until this leaves the battlefield. Huh, that's kind of cool. Each non-land permanent. This card's great. Doesn't this card seem really good? Yeah, like, just obliterates tokens. It just slows you down. I mean, a lot of aggro decks are gonna see. This could be, I could say, in constructed or in limited. This is probably like not great. Maybe 2 out of 5, and in constructed, this seems like it could be quite a strong option and a very good sideboard option. I'd probably say 3 out of 5 for potential in constructed. Defiler of Faith. 5 mana, 5/5 vigilance. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Oh, so Okay, these spells cost 2 less. Okay, so basically you make other things Phyrexian mana. Whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1/1 soldier. Okay, seems great. A Phyrexian human, that has to be a first. Uh, I'm gonna say this card's like in limited. It's pretty obviously a 5 out of 5, right? And in constructed, it is quite powerful. I'm gonna say 4 out of 5 in constructed. You know, it doesn't do anything the turn it comes into play. It's be a big body, but the body's pretty big, and it's a lot of value quickly. So, and you're saving on mana. Um, you're creating some bodies. They really got to deal with this quickly, I think. I'm gonna say yeah, this is a 4 out of 5 in constructed. Archangel of Wrath, 4 mana, 3/4, flying lifelink. All right, 5 out of 5 in limited. That's all you need to read in limited. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, was kicked. It could deal 2 damage to any target. Whoa. If it was kicked twice, deals 2 damage to any target. Oh, so you can you could do 4 damage to one thing, 2 and 2. Okay, this card's insane. This card's insane. Holy shit. This is 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 in limited. And I think this card's going to see a lot of constructed play, honestly. Because the utility of playing it when you want it is just so nice. Like, if you have the excess mana lying around, you're like, alright, kill that 4 toughness dude. There's going to be a lot of Archangels of Wrath killing other Archangels of Wrath. That's what I'm saying. I think this card's going to see a lot of constructed play. Okay. Guardian of New Benali. This thing's like fucking huge. Get it out of here. Jesus Christ, these ads. I know that's how this place makes their money, but fuck. Alright. 2 mana, 2/2, enlist. As this creature attacks, you may tap a enlist. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about how big these stupid ads are still. Okay. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this guy. Okay. Isn't that like that old school banding? Isn't that like what that is, but better? I don't know. Not exactly sure. I'm old, but I'm not banding old. Whenever Guardian of New Benin enlists a creature. Oh, and you get to scry too. That's cool. Discard a card. This card becomes indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Alright, so you attack, put a thing on it, you scry 2, it becomes bigger, they try to block it, or they really probably don't want to block it, because if they do, you just discard a card, give it indestructible. Where it becomes bad is, but even then, this doesn't have a one-time restriction here. So if you attack, they block, you discard a card, they go to kill it, you just discard another card. Like, not too bad. Especially when you know you're scrying 2 and you're putting, like, the lands that you don't need away. Okay. I think I'm just going to go down this because that shit is just too obnoxious. Okay, Prayer of Binding. When this enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent opponent controls until this thing leaves the battlefield. You gain 2 life. So like this, right? We talked about this card for 4 mana. So this has to cost 3, or this card is just better. This is really weird that they made both of these in the same set. Yeah, in limited, I think this card's a 5 out of 5 because you're always going to be able to play it for. I mean, maybe even 4 out of 5. The life gain isn't, much, but it's all right. And constructed, I think in constructed, people are probably just going to play this thing instead. So I'm going to give this guy like a 2 in the potential in constructed, maybe even less. All right. Love Song of Day and Night. You get to read ahead, so you can do all the things like with that other one. All right. You and target opponent each draw 2 cards, so you can skip that if you want. create a 1/1 bird creature token. Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. This card seems great. This card seems really, really good. Like, the turn it comes into play, you're getting a 1/1 flyer, which isn't great, but hey, it did something the turn it came into play. And then you put a counter on it, so now you have a 2/2 flyer, and creature you played on turn 2 gets bigger as well. Like, seems very powerful. In constructed, unplayable. 1 out of 5. In limited, 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Good card. Good card. Alright. 2 mana, 2/2 first strike. If you would gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead. This guy, for 2 mana, gets +1/+1 until end of turn. This card is always a strong effect in limited. In limited, you attack with this guy, and they're like, ugh, well, if I block, he's just going to pump it twice, and then eats my dude, and I'm just going to take 2. You're like, okay, cool. Free damage. It's like, pseudo unblockable. I mean, just it's so hard to deal with. Obviously, there'll be times when you attack with it, and then they have a removal spell, and you block with your 3/3, and then they pump twice, and then they terror it or whatever, and you're like, well, okay, they just time blocked me, and that sucks. But it's a risk you're willing to take because of how strong the card is. There has to be some sort of counterplay in Magic, So, I'm going to give this card it's a really powerful 2-drop, which is always good in limited. I'm going to say a 4 out of 5 in limited, and in constructed, not very good. Maybe a 2 out of 5. It's not even, it's a knight, human. Human might come in relevant, but if it was a soldier, it would have more potential. It seems like there's soldier cards in this set that, are asking for that. So, okay, 2 mana, a 2 mana, 2/3 lifelink. This card's good and limited. And then for 4 mana, whenever it's kicked, return to a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. It becomes a Gravedigger for 4 mana. Oh my god. Limited, 5 out of 5. This card's insanity. Insane. Just incredible. In constructed, it even seems good, dude. I mean, it fills your curve. 2 mana, 2/3 lifelink. Alright, does the thing. 4 mana, play it, get it, value. Just Gravedigger is fine. On a lifelink body, oh yeah, this card's a 4 out of 5 in limited. In constructed, I think. 5 out of 5 in limited. Very good card. Cleaving Sky Rider. 3 mana, flash, 2/2 flyer. If you pay 6 mana and it's a battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals X damage to any target. X is the number of attacking creatures. Okay, cool. So you can play this defensively. They attack with 3 guys. You play this dude for 6. Shoot one of their attackers down for 3. Get another blocker in play. Yeah, seems good. Limited is where this guy will shine. In limited, probably 3 out of 5. You can even do it during your turn, right? So you can attack all out and then be like, all right, cast this guy and kill your dude. In limited, this card seems really good. Probably 4 out of 5. And in constructed, I think it's literally poop. So 1 out of 5. Runic Shot. Destroy target tapped creature. That's always a good effect. Destroy target tapped creature is always good. Oh, it is sorcery. Okay. It's fine. And if it was kicked, you scry 2, which pretty much going to kick all the time. In limited, you'll take this if you're not blue. In constructed, people will play this. I honestly think. Potentially. 3 out of 5 in constructed. Probably 3 out of 5 in limited too. That sounds about like a good spot. Maybe a little bit better. Okay, let's see this thing. 4 mana, 0/3. When it enters the battlefield, create a bird for each creature with Defender you control. So it's going to make 1 with itself, okay? Whenever another creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, you get to create a bird. Okay, cool. Limited, in constructed, 1 out of 5, totally mid. And Limited, there's probably not that many walls, but still, like, makes its own body. It's kind of like a 1/4 over two bodies. 2 out of 5 in limited. Alright, flying enlist, so you can, like, put things, get more guys into the air. In limited, part seems reasonable. Probably like a 3 or 4 out of 5, and in constructed, 0, unplayable. Alright. So this is, I've read this card before. It's basically Raise the Alarm, but with soldiers. I don't know if Raise the Alarm is soldiers. I think it's knights, maybe humans. Don't think soldiers. If soldiers becomes a reasonable thing, this card could see some constructed play, and maybe I'll give it like a 3 out of 5 potential, because that's where I think about it. The likelihood of that transpiring is, and in limited, it's 2 1/1s on 2 bodies, For 2, that's not bad. Maybe 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, because there's still, at the end of the day, there's still 1/1s. Okay, untap up to 2 dark creatures. They each get +2/+2 until end of turn. This is usually a pretty decent effect. Limited, 4 out of 5. Constructed, 1 out of 5. Not much to say. 5 mana, 3/4 flyer. When it was kicked, it is about to have 2 1/1 counters, so it could be a 7 mana, 5/6 flyer. Alright, limited, I think that this guy, because a 5 mana 3/4 flyer is not good, but it's not awful, But the 5/6 is a pretty big body in limited, so I'm going to give this guy like a 3.5. And in constructed, 0. Never, don't even look at it. Vigilance enlist, and 1/3 defensive body. It does get to play offense and defense, because when it attacks, it can, tap another creature that you were going to attack with anyway, and then this guy can play defense. Reasonable in limited, actually. Probably like a 3 out of 5 in limited, constructed, 0. Alright. 4 mana, create 3 1/1s, but this is sorcery speed. Yeah, this is way better. In limited, 2 out of 5, and in constructed, I don't even think it would see play in the soldier deck, so 1 out of 5. Okay, defender, tap target creature. I like this type of thing. Tapping creatures is cool. 3 mana is quite a lot. Hefty investment, though. It's actually interesting, in like 7th edition and old school formats, like tap creatures that were they would cost 1 mana to tap a thing. It was like on a 1/1 body white that would be able to tap a thing. Those were always like really powerful effects, and I always thought for 1 mana they were pretty strong. This seems like more like a commitment, but I'm gonna say that this is probably maybe a 2 out of 5 in limited, 3 out of 5 maybe, and in constructed, 0. 2 mana, destroy target creature, instant. Destroy target creature with power 4 or toughness 4 or greater, or destroy target enchantment. This seems good. Constructed, or probably. It might see some play actually. In constructed, I'll give it like a 2.5 potential, and in limited, yeah, you'd probably want to play one of these. I'd probably say, instant speed, be able to remove a pretty strong guy for 2 mana. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 in limited. Seems good. Obviously, it doesn't kill everything, but I think a 4 out of 5 is a reasonable place to put that. Heroic Charge. 4 mana. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. For 6 mana, those creatures also gain trample until end of turn. This card ends the game. You're just like, all right, I'm way behind. Tack all out. All right, 6 mana. Boom! Or even 4 mana, can win you the game sometimes. And 6 mana is just going to throw it over the top. I'm going to say this is in limited, you're going to want to play one in these types of decks. 3 out of 5. And in constructed, probably just 0. Unplayable. Alright, 2 mana deals X damage to target tapped creature, where X is 1 plus the number of basic lands. So you're gonna like deal at least 2, probably 3 or 4. In limited, imagine if it's 6. 2 mana deals 6 damage to attack. You really want to go into 4 in limited, in constructed, which doesn't seem. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 in both limited and constructed. Seems reasonable. Alright, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature you control. Vigilance. For each creature you control, this guy gets cheaper. So, like, if this is 4 mana, 4/4 Vigilance is pretty strong. You probably play one of these. Probably, I'm going to say that this is in limited for. It's a 4 out of 4 because it's a 4/4. I don't know. It's pretty good. In constructed, unplayable. Actually, maybe in constructed, this card might end up getting broken somehow. Like, a 1 mana 4/4 Vigilance is pretty good. Could happen. I'm going to give this a potential 3 out of 5. Just because its high end on this seems really good. Okay. 4 mana, flying 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, under your control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, under your control, it gets +1/+1 until end turn. Constructed, 0 out of 5. Move on. Limited, you'll play it. Limited, probably. There are token generators and stuff. There's even some flash ones. Probably 3 out of 5. Seems good. Yeah, I'd be happy to play this, I think. Alright. 2 mana, 2/2. Or could be a 3/3. Battlefield, put a 1 when target creature you control. This card seems awesome. In limited. In limited, you see it as a 2 mana 2/2 or a 3 mana 3/3 or 3 mana 3/3. That seems good in limited. You can even put the counter wherever you need. Limited, 4 out of 5. Yeah, it's really powerful. And constructed, probably. It's not even a soldier. Limited or constructed, probably a 1. Just much better things out there. 3 mana enlist. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 dude. That you can enlist to add to this guy's power. Alright, well, this is 2 bodies on a dude. And yeah, as we see, there's things like this that want more dudes. There's things like this guy that wants more dudes. This card seems reasonable and limited. 3 out of 5. Constructed, 1. Alright, Citizen's Arrest. I'm guessing this is going to be an arrest effect. Enters the battlefield, exile target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls until this thing leaves the battlefield. This also targets planeswalkers, so that's good. I'm going to give this, in limited, 5 out of 5. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, for sure. And in constructed, probably 1. I think there's just better things happening in limited. Constructed. Alright, when this thing becomes tapped, you gain 1 life and scry 1. Okay, for a 2 mana, 2/1 that you want to be aggressive with. It also can get tapped by other people, by enlists things, right? So that seems good. Gain a life and scry, those add up. Like, gaining over the course of the game, gaining 3 or 4 life can definitely change the course of the game, and scrying a few lands to the bottom is like basically drawing a card later. So I'm gonna give this card pretty high standards. Pretty high. I'm gonna give it like a 3.5 in limited, and probably 1 in constructed. Probably not going to be good enough, but still a good card. When this guy enters the battlefield, you gain 2 life. 3 mana, 2/1 flyer gains you a couple life. This seems good. In limited, 3 out of 5. Constructed, unplayable. Stall for time. 3 mana instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. If you pay 5 mana, put a stun counter on each of those. If a permanent with a stun counter, it would become untapped. Remove 1 of them instead. And this thing draws you a card. Whoa, this card's good. Just the 3 mana, tap 2 guys, draw a card is pretty good. And at 5 mana, this team's really good. remove guys from the field for a long time and replaces itself. Limited, actually pretty damn good. Maybe 4 or 5 out of 5. And in constructed, probably not going to see any play. But cool card. I like that. I always like this type of effect. I mean, what's that card? Blinding Light or whatever from like way long ago with Entwine. Yeah, this card seems good. I like it. And this just draws you a card, and I liked that card. 2 mana. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It gains lifelink and indestructible in a turn. Wow. That's a good trick. That's a little bit of everything. The lifelink is totally going to be, like I said, just gain 2 or 3 life over the course of a game. This could just gain you 5 all at once, You just put it on a 3-power dude, you're gaining 4 life. It's also becoming indestructible, so you get to trade up. You can block, they swing with a really big dude. You block with a few guys. They go to kill the one, and you're like, all right, the one that is the best, and you're like, all right, indestructible, gain some life off of it. Good card. Limited 4 out of 5. Constructed, unplayable probably. Okay, 2 mana 3/1. Hey, I always like those aggressive stat lines. If you pay a black, each player sacrifices a creature. Whoa, this card seems great. This card seems really good. Limited, really good. You sacrifice a token, they sacrifice something else. You might even sacrifice this, and they sacrifice. I mean, obviously they get to pick, but I don't know. Seems good. You can put yourself in a situation where this kind of card is nice. Phyrexian Human Soldier, and it's a soldier. I'm going to give this card in limited 4 out of 5. I think this card's really good. And in constructed, could see some play. I'm going to give it a potential 2. Not a lot, but it's potential. Alright, white. This thing, 3 mana 3/2. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for 5. That's a lot, but at the same time, I mean, you can't ask for much more. So I'm going to say in limited, 3 out of 5. Probably happy to play it. White looks like it's going to go wide, so this card, just adds to it. And in constructed, unplayable, 1 out of 5. Alright, I hope everyone enjoyed my set review of Dominaria United for white. I'm going to be posting this and all these other colors very shortly. And I hope you all have fun at your pre-releases and open some fucking awesome foil mythic rares. And I'll see you all next time. Kick-ass take names, obtain.